Welcome to the Ultraverse. Today we're going to be talking about the Donald and his campaign of fascism. So he's been recently saying things like Mexicans are rapists and Mexicans are killers, and we need to bring up a big wall to keep out the illegal aliens. I make this racism. What's going on?
This is very similar to the tactics used by the Nazi regime in Germany, and it's kind of worrying that he'd get a similar type of populist support that Hitler started to get back in them days as well.
It's in a similar vein, not necessarily the same support that
Yeah.
he got, obviously, it's a different situation. But conceptually,
Yeah, he's
Same type of thing going
using
on,
the
right?
same type of tactics. We had the Berlin Wall, which we know about, so that's the big wall thing, keeping out the illegal aliens. The Jews at that time were also called were also known as criminals and all the rest of it. So it's a very similar campaign.
more on that later. But there's also another chap, isn't there?
Yeah, no.
Ben Carson.
Dr. Ben Carson, what happened is Donald Trump started to get really famous saying ridiculous things which politicians never say, never get away with. So Ben Carson, who was a nobody in the the Republican nomination, he just thought, you know what, let's take a page from Donald Trump's book, and let's see where that gets us.
Donald now has a competitor.
Yeah, lo and behold, a few weeks later, Ben Carson's like up in the polls, and at one point he was even ahead of Donald Trump, just by saying ridiculous, racist, weird things.
Yeah, so he has said things like, during slavery, a lot of the slave owners thought that they had the right to do whatever they wanted to do to that slave. Anything that they chose to do. And, what if the abolitionists had said, I don't believe in slavery, I think it's wrong, but you guys do whatever you want to do, in reference to women. And another one, Obamacare is really, I think, the worst thing that's happened in this nation since slavery.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
And another one, on his skepticism of the rules of war.
Okay.
If you're going to have rules for war, you should just have a rule that says no war. Other than that, we have to win. So basically what he's saying is, if you go to war, no rules.
Oh. No, yeah. So no concern about civilian casualties and no. Oh, that's horrible. That's disgusting. Now, what actually happened is his foreign policy thing did backfire a little bit, didn't it? And he started losing some of the traction which he'd built up, and people started realizing, wait, this guy's not meant to be a politician. He's an idiot.
There's one thing that they like him for. Right? He talks out a lot about political correctness and how it's stifling progress and all these other weird things.
Yeah. Trump does the same thing, doesn't he?
Yeah. So they're hiding behind this facade that they're calling political correctness in order for them to express their crazy views.
Yeah. It's like they're anti-PC, aren't they? They want to get rid of this cultural political correctness and just say what's on your mind, and that's why Donald Trump's going around calling people calling people rapists and killers and.
But it's almost as if
racist.
What he's saying though is to people who will then say to him, "Oh, you can't say that. What's all this political correctness about?"
Right. Yeah.
Which is just crazy. I mean, it's like a straw man argument.
Yeah. On the other side, on the Democratic side, you've got a guy called Bernie Sanders, who's actually one of the quite sensible candidates, although he's being called a communist, and they're trying all sorts to actually malign him. He's trying to get money out of politics, and he's trying to get rid of all the negativity in the society. He's trying to give America a good image in the Middle East and all the rest of it. And he's being maligned left and right. People are saying he's going to take all your money. He's a communist.
They use communist as always a swear word.
A swear word, yeah.
Communist.
Communist kind of is a swear word a little bit, but the whole socialist thing. So he's a socialist, and they try to equate socialism with communism, which kind of makes it like a
We have that problem in the UK with a certain person, don't we?
Indeed, Mr. Jeremy Carson.
Corbyn.
Or Carson. Carson.
Jeremy Carson!
Yeah, Jeremy Corbyn.
Bernie Sanders, he supports grassroots even movements. Black Lives Matter. He actually cares about poor people. He wants to do something about homelessness in the States. He's inclusive in his policies. He likes to include the minority groups. He makes a good stab at it. In fact, he goes out and meets people actively. Now, there's a guy like this in the UK as well.
Jeremy
Corbyn.
Jeremy Corbyn. Now, one of the major issues as to why these types of candidates always get attacked is people say that any type of negativity in society that we have, the politicians have oftentimes placed all the blame on minority communities. So they'll pick like the majority against the minority. So if we perceive issues with our education system, with our healthcare system, with poverty, there's a massive rise of homelessness and soup kitchens in the UK as well as America and in a lot of the Western countries. And so people obviously are seeing, look, there's some problem with the political system, there's some problem with capitalism, we need some alternative. But what what people like Donald Trump, what they play on is the emotion of people, divert it towards hatred of the other.
Yeah. And people like Jeremy Corbyn
Yeah.
and Bernie Sanders are called communists!
Yeah.
Or socialists, as they call them here. And recently, Jeremy has been called a terrorist sympathiser, but we'll talk about that in a different video.
Yeah. Well, you've got like people like UKIP in this country, haven't you? Very similar to Donald Trump, and they come from that school of thought, political school of thought.
With Bernie Sanders and Jeremy Corbyn, they're obviously saying the right things as far as the common people are concerned. They're concerned with the right things, they want to put in place the right policies. But why is there so much, particularly for Jeremy Corbyn, why is there so much negativity towards him? I mean, he's called anti-democratic.
Yeah. Well, they want to give that image across, don't they? They want to say that he's the anti-democratic, communist, kind of totalitarian leader. He's the the new czar.
So the government are going to control every aspect of your life.
That's what they're trying to say, and they're saying the same thing about Bernie Sanders in America. People have been saying it's going to take 90% of your wealth, that type of thing.
Fair tactics again.
Yeah, exactly. So, but these guys are actually they're talking about getting money out of politics. They're talking about getting the media under control in a way where the media can't start bashing minority groups, and every time some a terrorist attack happens or something, the whole Muslim community is maligned. They're talking about getting rid of homelessness. They're talking about stopping stopping either America in the case of Bernie Sanders, or the UK, Britain in the case of Jeremy Corbyn. They're talking about stop Britain interfering with the Middle East and international affairs, and that's why people hate us so much. And so there's a lot of sense in what they're saying, but it's anti-establishment, which is the reason why the establishment, with their newspapers and media,
and anti-capitalism.
Is yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's a question that comes up: is it now a time for some type of shift in our political paradigm? Do we need some type of a different type of capitalism, something that's a little more compassionate?
Fresh thinking in politics.
Exactly. Do we need a compassionate capitalism mixing with a socialist democracy type system where we can actually help people instead of cause pain?
What would that look like? It's an interesting thought. Think about it. Leave your comments and we talk about it in an upcoming video.
Ta-da!